Advice for dating in 2021. Newly back to the dating scene and have no clue what I'm doing.
Two things. Number one, tell the truth. Like, you got to be all in, man. If you're putting on a facade, don't be surprised that you keep finding yourself in the hamster wheel of being frustrated, finding the same fuckboys or the same chicks or whatever it is. Like, we live in this day and age where we're trying to protect ourselves, and I had this conversation with my daughter the other day. You know, we're showing up to build relationships, guarding our hearts, protecting our hearts, holding everything back, building these walls, building these fences, right? We have all of these layers that have built up to quote-unquote protect ourselves. Well, how the fuck are you supposed to build a relationship that way? How do you build a relationship that way? You can't. Mm-hmm. It's literally like, it's just imagine you've got your heart and you have it completely protected, completely boarded up, guarded up, barbed wire around it, and you're going out and dating people, trying to find love, create love, build love, and you're not using the thing or letting people in or showing the thing that you're going to need to do in order to have love. It's the most ass backwards thing, right? Mm-hmm. We think that by protecting our hearts that we are safe, and in my opinion, it's the least safe thing you can do. And so truly, like, when you think about that, people say, well, Sean, you don't know my past and you don't know my trauma. I don't need to know any of it. I have the same thing. I did the exact same fucking racket. I did this, which is why I know, like, how to do this. It's only when you look at it and say, I'm going to be all in. And there's a ton of vulnerability to that. I'm going to speak my truth. I'm going to share what it is that I believe that I want out of the gates. Yeah. And if this person doesn't fit the mold or they think I'm nutty, then fine, they're not my person, mm-hmm. right? But the second thing to this is, this kind of ties in with it, is creating very, very, very clear boundaries, period. Yeah. You know, if you have non-negotiables and you negotiate on those, don't be surprised why you end up getting hurt. Don't be surprised why you end up, you know, somebody's looking, your non-negotiable is porn, right? We don't do porn, whatever it is. And you're dating somebody who's looking at porn going, well, you know what? They'll quit for me, or they'll do this, or they'll do that. Fuck that shit, period. Mm-hmm. If you don't have your boundaries set and you're trying to create something with someone, you're going to move all over the place. There's literally no guide. It's like trying to go down the rails on the train, and you're just all over the fucking place, right? Yeah. This is not what people want to hear. And this is really, really, really hard, because if you think about that, if you do have these boundaries, if you do have these non-negotiables set in stone, maybe you think you come across like a dick, or chicks, you think like you come across like a bitch. The truth is, I'd rather come across like a dick and know exactly where we stand out of the gates. Yeah. And know exactly where we stand on date one, right? Mm-hmm. If I want more kids and you want no kids, that's just, yeah, you might be hot and we might be cool and this is a great date, but we're not headed in the same direction. So why would we go out again? Why would we date again? Well, maybe I'll try and persuade you, or you'll try and persuade me, or I'll try and persuade you. It's the dumbest fucking thing you could do, mm-hmm. but I also understand why, you know, a lot of people do this. And so my strongest suggestion for people is to tell the truth, man, to be all in from date one. I mean, you're sitting down with somebody, man, don't bullshit them. Don't give them the fucking smoke and mirrors. Tell them who you are. Tell them what you're afraid of. Tell them about your past. People are like, oh, well, you got to ease into that shit. I don't believe that. I believe that we didn't ease into it at all. I believe that there's so many people are struggling in dating right now because they are trying to, quote, ease into it. Mm-hmm. And you're literally building an infatuation or a connection with somebody off of lies. Mm-hmm. Period. I agree. You will never build a fucking long-term relationship, a marriage, anything of value, so long as you're lying, not telling them the truth, or trying to protect yourself and protect your heart. Mm-hmm. You're either all in or all the fuck out. Yep. Yeah.
And all I want to add to that is have fun. Like, dating is not, you know, there's not this end-all goal that you have to end up married. Like, have fun dating. Like, dating is fun. Yeah. If you make it fun, there's people out there. You can discover new music, new books, new restaurants, you know, like, there's companionship. Like, have fun instead of, if you're so focused on an outcome, you might miss the whole journey of dating.
Yeah, but you want to have an outcome, right? Like,
I'm just saying, but going in with an expectation of, like, I have to find this. Yeah. I want to this. I want, instead of enjoying it and being more present in the process instead of focused on the outcome.
Yeah.
knowing
Well,
to yourself, of course,
yeah.
like,
Right.
yes, of course, I wanted to be married, but I also like.
Well, that's exactly what I'm getting at is don't go fucking date people and say, you're looking for marriage if you're really just interested in fucking 50 people. Like, don't do that, right? I mean, you see that all over the place. You see, you read somebody's fucking profile on Tinder or Bumble, and they show up and they're literally the exact opposite person who have the exact opposite realities and goals but it sounded good for Bumble. It sounded good for Tinder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just tell the truth, man.
And as a woman coming out of the dating pool years ago, like, honestly, the thing is that I will say is don't. He's eating a rock, I think. Oh, Gunner. Women want the truth. You don't have to protect them from it. So that was one of the things that my biggest takeaway was dating and breakups and things. I was like, I just wish they'd tell me the truth. Like, why didn't you just tell me that?
Yeah.
Then I would have been like, okay, I get to make a decision and carry on.